Hey everybody, welcome back to another 2007 Ford Ranger Sport video. Well, this week I am going to replace the half burned out incandescent bulbs with LEDs. Stay tuned. Well, in my research of figuring out how to do this, there is actually nothing, if very little maybe, online about this 2007 cluster. And I don't think it probably differs much from the earlier versions of the Ranger, but I think the overall, removing all the access and the trim and everything is pretty much the same. I'm not sure what this looks like behind there. It's probably similar, but not exactly the same. So we're going to figure this out together. So the first thing to do is, I know you need to remove this and the lower panel, and then the metal panel inside it, so that you can actually access the cluster and remove it for the LEDs. I got LEDs for this a long time ago, last year when I first got this truck, and they've just been kind of sitting, and I got white and green. And I know you can't tell right now, but even if I turn this on, yeah, it's too daylight out. This side of it is burned out, or at least one bulb in this area, and the rest of it is, what you'd expect from incandescent. So we're going to fix that today. All right, to get started, I'm going to go ahead and remove this. This just pulls out. It's kind of a pressure fit. And then I think I need to remove this lower panel, metal panel inside it, and that will then allow me to remove the actual this part right here, and then I can remove the cluster. So I'm not going to be too terribly detailed really until I get to this the actual cluster, because I mean, there's a million videos on YouTube of how to remove all this stuff, and it's pretty simple. But the actual cluster is what differs from the earlier version. So let's see what that looks like inside. All right, 2 7mm under there. This is held in with pressure, pulls right out. Got that lower plastic trim off. More 4 7mm. Now I got to remove this metal panel right here, which will allow me to then remove this and get to the cluster. And with everything taken apart, it's a perfect opportunity to get in here and clean. You can see the dust. The top of this bezel is pretty dusty, so I'm going to wipe all that out. So it looks like just a few more 7mm, and this cluster can be removed. So I'm going to grab a rag and clean things up and then remove the cluster. The one thing I'll have to deal with is, which I didn't have in my old Ranger, is this. I think will pop out the whole assembly. You'll see what I mean. I've got the cluster out, and I did not end up removing the parking pin indicator. It's still attached. I was able to just flip it around. I tried to remove it, but then the whole thing came apart, and I didn't want to risk breaking it. So I'm at the point where I can access the back, and you can see, I know that's one right there. Here are the LEDs that I got, and I don't know the size. I guess it's kind of worn off. Please don't ask for a link for these. I got these probably, I don't know, half a year ago or so. And I'm not even 100% sure they're the ones that fit here, but we're going to find out in a minute. There's 10 in here, and I thought there was only 5 that needed to be replaced, but I guess we'll find out. I'm going to remove one with some needle nose pliers. After removing this, I thought it was the wrong one because it had the base attached, but it turns out these bulbs actually very carefully pull straight out. And it looks like I will be able to fit this LED in there. So I'm gonna get going on this. All right, it's been probably a good hour and I've got all of these replaced. One of them, when I was removing the bulb from the base, of course it broke off in the base, so I had to dig it out. But I recommend buying these things already loaded in this little plastic base if possible. But I do have them all in right now, and I'm sure they're polarity sensitive. So I'm gonna plug it in and attempt to look at them in the daylight. It's gonna be kind of difficult. And then I'll turn around the ones that are not working, and we'll be able to put this back together. And I should add that if you want to clean the inside of your bezel, now's the time to do it, because this very easily comes off. There's just some very loosely held clips all the way around it. So it allows you to get in there and wipe down this area, which probably has accumulated dust. And I'm gonna give this a good clean and polish over at the workbench. All right, the sun has gone down behind the house sufficiently, and I've got a cloth kind of blocking it, so I'll show you. Big difference. It may not be coming through on camera, but before, this whole side was burned out. So now I feel confident that I can go ahead and put this back together. All right, minor setback. That trip odometer button is not lined up. Of course, it's jammed in there and needs to go through that hole. So let me fix that. And real quickly, I wanted to add this in. If you saw last week's video where I replaced the fog light lenses, I did end up getting my LEDs in the mail today from Amazon. As you can see, that one matches 6000K, whereas this one is still the original halogen. So big difference. It looks a lot cleaner, a lot more modern. And there's the packaging from Amazon. Sealight 9145, 6000K. All right, well, to wrap up the video, it's starting to get dark, and here are the lights. They look really good. The camera really doesn't do them justice, but they're nice and bright and crisp. And while I was waiting, I had the passenger side airbag replaced. The mobile team came and did that for the Takata recall. I guess there's also going to be a recall on the driver's side very soon. So the same guy's going to come back and do it mobile service, which was really super convenient. So it's a good thing. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you're going to do this, I think I'd probably definitely go with green, just because there's already green filters on the back of the actual gauges, and white I think would make them just too washed out. The green actually looks kind of like an Indiglo, if you remember that. Anyway, one more project done. Let me know what you think. And until next time, we'll catch you on the flip side.